Hello everyone. In this video, I'm going to go over some basic rate strategy with you guys. Over the last 4 years, I've spoke to, over 1,000 owners and learned a lot. And I've come up with a simplistic rate strategy for you guys to use. What it basically does is it breaks the entire year up into 7 different periods and then uses a percentage of your peak summer rate for what you should charge during your off season, during your shoulder season, both your spring shoulder and your fall shoulder. Now, you can customize this however you want. If you only rent your house in the summer, you don't have to do the shoulders. That's completely up to you. But my goal here is to show you how to set up a rate period for the entire year to try to maximize your rentals, not only in the summer, but in the shoulder seasons of June and September, and also the off season from October through May. Okay, so log into your dashboard, and once you see the listing you want to work on the rates, click on the settings gear under the options column, and on the pop-up, go to the rates tab. Once the rate opens up, I just want to give you a quick tutorial on this. The top section here is the rates wizard, where we'll actually build your rates. The middle section is your rates calendar. Right now there's no color on here because there's no rate set, but once you do have rates, every rate period will be represented in a different color if you do this the right way. And then down the bottom is your rates table. And again, there's nothing here yet, but we'll come back to that later and see how you can use that to check your work. So starting on the first rate period, the first box here, the title, you don't have to put something in here, but in this case I am. I'm going to title it off seasons, and that's what we're going to call this rate. And we're going to start this, like I said, I'm going to do it for the full year of 2021. So I'm going to start it on January 1st. And then the off season ends in the spring on the Friday before Memorial Day weekend. So I'm going to run it from the January 1st till the Friday before Memorial Day weekend. Now, you can set a nightly rate if you want to rent by the night. That is your Sunday through Thursday nights. Your weekend rate is your Friday and Saturday night, what it would charge. Your weekly rate is for an entire week, and your monthly rate for an entire month. And again, these can be discounted from what your nightly rates are if you want to give a break for somebody renting weekly. Price for how many people? In this case, this rental does 7 people, so we're going to put 7 in here. If you want to charge extra, for additional people, you can, but most people don't use this feature, but we have it here if you do want to use it. Minimum stay. In this example, we're going to require everybody to stay 7 nights. Okay, so you can make this any option you want from 1 to 64 nights. We just added the 10 nights option this year, which is really cool for like Labor Day weekend if you want to run a rate period for Labor Day weekend. But we're going to keep it 7 nights and then changeover day. You have several different options here. In this case, in the off season, I don't care when they come. They can come Saturday, they can come Sunday, they can come Friday, heck, they can come Wednesday. As long as they stay with me for a week, I don't care. So I'm going to leave that blank. And then these 3 options here, you can just leave these set to default. That is an advanced rates feature that's covered in a different tutorial. So just leave them the way they are. Now, once I have my period set, I want to set the weekly rate amount. Now, in this example, this pricing structure that I'm going to recommend to you, you take whatever your summer peak weekly rate is and then you discount it for the shoulders and the off season. Okay, so to keep the math simple, we're going to use $10,000 as a summer peak season rate. Okay, and then in your off season, you're going to want to price this at 25% of what your peak season rate is. So 25% of 10,000 is 2,500 a week. So in this example, we're going to charge 2,500 a week, 7 people, 7 nights. We don't care when they check in, and we're going to add that rate. So now we have a rate set, and you see the color in here, and you also see the line in our table. So the first one's done. Now the second rate period we're going to add is going to be the spring shoulder season. So I'm just going to call this spring shoulder. And we're going to break it into 2 shoulders. We're going to call spring shoulder 1. And the first spring shoulder season that I like starts Memorial Day weekend, okay, when our summer starts. So we're going to start that on May 29th, and we're going to run that through for 2 weeks through to 6/11. Okay, and now the weekly rate, now we got to figure this out, right? So the last one was 25% of your peak summer week. This one's going to be 50% of your peak summer week. So $10,000, half price would be $5,000. Okay, and again, this is for 7 people, and it's going to be for 7 nights. And now, because our summer started, I'm going to require people to come Saturday to Saturday. So I'm going to select that. Okay, that means if they don't select Saturday, they're not going to be able to send you a booking request. So we're going to add that rate. Now that's spring shoulder 1. And you can see again, now we've got color coming down, and we've got it added to our bottom here. Another thing I want to point out to you, whenever you're setting your rates, you always want to start a rate period on your check-in day, which is a Saturday for Saturday changeover, and you want to end it on a Friday, okay? If you try to overlap these rates, if you have pushed this out to the 12th, and then the next one we try to add, you're going to get an error. And on that error, that means that you can't have rates that overlap. So make sure you always start them on the check-in day, always end them on the last night that they're going to stay with you. Okay, so let's go into the next one that we have to build. This is going to be Spring Shoulder 2. It's going to start on the 12th of June. So we're going to call it Spring Shoulder 2. And we're going to start this in June. And June 12th, I'm just going to double check here. Yep, June 12th. And we're going to run this for another 2 weeks, okay? We're going to run this from June 12th to June 25th, ending it on a Friday. Now our weekly rate's going to be 75% of what our summer week is. So $10,000 is a summer week. We're going to do this one for $7,500. Again, it's for 7 people. It's 7 nights. We're also going to require them to do a Saturday changeover and add the rate. Okay, if we scroll down, we see we're adding through our calendar. They're added to the table at the bottom. Now the next week is going to start on June 26. Okay, this is going to be our summer rate. Okay, and it's going to start on June 26. So we click on that, and then we come here and we're going to run it through to August, and we're going to have this end on. Actually, we're going to end it on the 3rd. September 3rd. And the reason for that is Labor Day this year is on the 6th. So our summer season always ends the Friday before Labor Day weekend. So that's the 10 summer week period from 6/26 to 9/3 in 2021. Again, the weekly rate, this is the peak summer rate. This is 100%. So it's $10,000. Okay. Did I do too many zeros here? I did. $100,000. So there we go, 10,000. And again, this is for 7 people, and we're going to do 7 nights, and they have to come Saturday to Saturday. Okay, add that rate. Successful. Now we're going to add the next one, which is going to be our fall shoulder 1, we're going to call it, and this is going to start right when the last rate ended, which will be in September. And we're going to go to September 4th is when it starts. And this one is going to end. It's going to go for 2 weeks. So it's going to end on Friday the 17th. Now we're working opposite of what we did in June. So now this is 75% of our summer week. So $10,000 times 75% is $7,500. Again, it's for 7 people. It's a 7-night stay, and I'm still going to require them to come Saturday to Saturday in September. Okay, so I add that rate. And now you'll see it be added to our, we got more color, we're out through the 18th. So now we're going to do our, we're going to call it our Fall Shoulder 2 for the last 2 weeks in September. Fall Shoulder 2. And we're going to do this starting where we left off. So we got a key all the way out to September. And we're going to do this for the last 2 weeks in September, which starts on, let me just check down here, on the 18th. So we're going to go from the 18th, and we're going to go 2 weeks, which takes us out to the 1st of October. Now we should be at 50% of what our summer weekly rate is. So this would be $5,000 a week. Again, it's for 7 people. We're going to do 7 nights. We're going to do Saturday to Saturday through September. They have to stay with us a week, check in and out on Saturdays and Saturdays. Now we have our whole rate period done. The only thing we have left is our off season after October 1st. Okay, so again, we're going to call this off season, and we're going to start this on October 2nd. Got to go to 2021. So we're going to start on Saturday, October 2nd, and I'm going to run this one all the way out to December 31st. Okay, and now we're back to 25% again. So it's $2,500 to be 25% of 10,000, 7 people, 7 nights. And we're not going to require a changeover day. Okay, again, in the off season, I don't care when they come and go. They can come on a Tuesday or a Thursday, as long as they stay with me for a week. All right, so that's the 7 rate periods. And if you scroll down the bottom, you can see them all here. And you can see they're nicely laid out with a start date and an end date with nothing overlapping. This ends on the 28th, this starts on the 29th, and it covers you from January 1st till December 31st. It's our $10,000 a week summer rate. We have 75% of that value for the first two shoulders on both sides. We have 50% of that value for the last two shoulders on both sides. And we have 25% of that value for the off season. Okay. Also in the off season, we do not require a changeover day, but we do require a 7-night stay through all those weeks. Okay. So this is a basic rate strategy that I would recommend you try, and then you can tweak these dates. You can not use some of these, whatever you want to do. Okay, but this is pretty basic and works very well for our owners. Now, a couple other things on your rates. You'll notice up here there's an add-ons. Okay, so let's say you have a pet fee. If you click on the add-ons tab, it'll ask you for an add-on. You can make it optional because we don't know if somebody's going to bring a pet or not. So we can make it a pet fee, and we can charge $200, okay, for a week. So if they want to bring Fido, they can optionally pay $200 and they can bring Fido. Now, let's set up another add-on. We're going to set up a mandatory one. This one's going to be a cleaning. Some of you break out your cleaning fees as a separate fee. I don't. I work them into my weekly rates, but if you want to break it out separately, you can. Cleaning fee, $150. It's charged mandatory, and it is one time for every single reservation that somebody places with you. So click on save, and there you go. There's your pet fee. Okay. You can also do taxes this way. There's a separate tutorial on how to set up taxes if you are required to collect any sales or occupancy taxes. So that's a quick little tutorial about rates, okay, and how to rate strategy, I should say. I really like this strategy. Some people break these out into even more rate periods, so that's every single week. In June, it's a different price. Personally, that's what I do. And also in the fall, every single week in September that you come later, the rate comes down. So I also charge more on my summer for the peak summer rates. That tends to be the last 2 weeks of July, first 2 weeks in August. You can get a little bit more money. So this 10,000, you might want to bump up to 11,000 for those weeks. So that's some ideas, and I hope this works for you. And thanks for using our websites to promote your vacation rentals.